It's not because of your own accord. It's because of the Lord, all right? So I'm going to ask you a question, man. What it is to be a man? What is your understanding as to what it is to be a man? All right? What is your understanding, man, as to what it is to be a man? If you had to describe it, if I gave you an assignment, right, a sheet of paper, hey, write down things or a description of what it is to be a man in today's society, what will you tell me?
Knowledge, really.
Huh?
Knowledge, really. Knowledge, really.
To have knowledge? To have knowledge? That's lukewarm. You lukewarm. What else?
Knowledge and do. Just be about your word. That's it. That's all I can say.
Be about your word. Being honest, being true to yourself, right?
Exactly, yeah.
All right. All right, because, well,
you're not true to yourself. You can't be true to nobody else around you.
That shows me a lot of where you come from, but where I came from, right? If you ask somebody, yo, what it is to be a man? To be a man was to what? To get the most money, to get the most girls, get the most numbers, screw the most, you know what I mean? Be the most violent.
That's not it.
Right, that's not it. Neither it is only knowing about yourself or the truth or being true to yourself, all right?
Yeah, fact.
It's beyond that. Read that for the brother.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Now the days of David drew nigh that he should die, and he charged Solomon his son, saying,
It's a relationship between a father and a son. Something that we're lacking in our community nowadays, right? Read.
I go the way of all the earth.
This is it's politing. They politicking. He's giving his kid an advice. All right, read.
Be thou strong, therefore.
He's telling them, be strong. Be strong. Read. How is it strong? Do you have to bench 500 pounds to be strong? That's all you think it is? Or do the most push-ups? You know what I mean? Well, let's find out. Read.
And show thyself a man.
Show what?
And show thyself a man.
Show thyself a man. Amen. He's going to explain to you how you do that. Read.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways.
So to be a man is to walk in the ways of the Lord. So I ask you, you know what I mean? As the brother teach you anything or anything like that, you say, nah. Like I told you, he's trying to build men like you. He's trying to help young men like you. That's what we're doing out here. So to be a man, right? You have to walk in the ways of the Lord. The officer was explaining to you the importance of marriage. Because we, black people, right? I'm going to speak in general, black and Hispanic. Our people, our mothers and fathers got us thinking that having girlfriend, right? And not taking up on the responsibility of marriage is the it thing, or is the thing to do, right? We're the only culture in the world that applauds that. Oh, my son is a player. Yeah, oh, he's crazy, he's a player, good. You know what I'm saying? Some fathers, they feel proud about that. But the Bible speaks nothing about that. Let's go back to Hebrews, right? I'm gonna explain it to the brother, and this is what you gotta do, because the officer brought out, you got a job. You're not totally bad, you're on your route, all right? You just gotta fine tune it. You got a job, you got a place to live. You renting your own place, your own apartment, you own it? You got it, it's in your lease is on your name. And your girl's name, so y'all living together, all right? So this is it right there, read.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers God will judge.
Marriage. You skipped a few steps, all right? You skipped a few steps, man. All right, because you living with her. I know you tearing up the skin, right?
Keep bringing up the marriage,
No,
man.
don't be. Listen, it's real. You're 23 years old. It's real, right? Y'all living together, y'all doing grown people things, all right? So, according to Tobit, the book of Tobit, yes, there's a thing that was part of our culture that you are missing out on, all right? Because it's only nowadays where our people don't want to take care of this part of the marriage.
Listen, make you feel better. I did buy her a ring. I bought her a promise ring. Listen, I bought her a promise ring. But now is not the time for, you feel me? It's still other things we gotta build on before it even comes to that step.
You actually didn't make me feel better. You make me feel worse, man.
How make you feel worse?
You make me feel worse because a promise ring is an Egyptian custom. It's not our custom.
That's right.
All right? So this is the things that you need to learn. That ring, if I was you, I would take it, pound it, get that money, and go to City Hall and pay for my license, a marriage license. Right. That's what I would do. Because the ring, what the Egyptians used to do is put it on this finger, and supposedly, right, it's connected to the artery that leads to your heart. That's where that custom came from. We are not to learn that. We are not to learn the ways of the Egyptians. This is what was our custom. Read.
The book of Tobit, chapter 7 and verse 3. Then he called his daughter Sarah, and she came to her father, and he took her by the hand and gave her to be wife to Tobias, saying,
So this is a father giving away his daughter, right? Read.
Behold, take her after the law of Moses.
Take her what?
Take her away after the law of Moses.
Take her away after the law of Moses, which is some of the things you're doing. You got your housing, you got your clothing, you provide food for her, etc. Read.
But
And he led her away to thy father, and he blessed them, and called Edna his wife, and took paper.
I took what?
And took paper.
Listen up, man. I took what?
And took paper.
Paper.
And did write an instrument.
Read it again, that part. Let this fool pass away. I don't want you to miss this. The devil trying to make you miss this. Plus, we got an AirPod, so you only listen to one ear. All right? Is that off? All right. Listen up.
And called and took paper and did write an instrument of covenant and sealed it.
So you wrote an instrument of covenant. Today, we will call that marriage certificate. All right? So that was part of our culture. So the promise ring you got on her is just to keep her in the loop, right? And keep doing what you got to do with her. What is some of the things that you think that she should change in order for you to go ahead and take those steps and marry her? What's stopping you from doing that? What you see in her that you know, you're like, damn, man, I don't want to marry that because this, that, and the next.
Shit, everybody had their downfalls at one moment, so you can't just jump the gun and shit like that. Because at the end of the day, when shit hit the fan and people, you know, because she's a female at the end of the day, she gets emotional. So once shit hit the fan, I don't know how would she react in a bad situation. Would she stick with me or would she, you feel me? But I wouldn't test her to that point because I don't want to, you know, I don't want it to have to come there. So only time can tell. That's why I'm really saying that, because time can tell. You don't know how everybody is emotionally when, you know, shit hit the fan.
So you got to get to know her, right? Hold that and then get to know her. Right. Right. Listen, what you're doing is more or less correct, right? But you already stepping way too deep in it, right? So you got to first go ahead and marry her, right? If that's the woman you want, you got to marry her, all right? You got to bring her to the school, let her learn the ways, like that she don't go astray, all right? But this is what you're supposed to do from the beginning. Read.
the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6 and verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first.
So if you wanted to get that friend or that lifetime friend, because that's what your wife is supposed to be, correct? Your wife's supposed to be your friend for life, right? Meaning you could confide in certain things with her, certain things, not everything, because a woman is not supposed to know everything. That's a mistake we're making today as a nation. We want to go pillow talk on some, who's the R&B today, man?
Drake.
Drake, oh, Drake? Drake is R&B, right. We want to be draking with them on the bed. Nah, they're not supposed to know everything, all right? Certain things remain in the manly line. Some things remain where you both can basically coexist and you know, build that friendship, right? But some things are got to draw certain lines, all right? Read that again for the brother.
If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him.
Now, you cannot go fast and say, yo, she all right. Now you married, and you find out she's a cuckoo nest. She's cuckoo in the top, right? She what, 6:30? They call that 6:30? 7:30. I'll give her an hour earlier. She's 7:30 in the head. Okay? Now what you gonna do? Now you're gonna lose all your hair, right? You're gonna be all stressed out, right? But what happened? You taking counsel upon your own head. You know, you're not seeking the counsel that was spoken of in Kings 2, right? Walking in the ways of the Lord. So it's important for you to do that, man. You got to come back and walk in the ways of the Lord. All right? Give me what you was going to give me in Ephesians. In Ephesians.
5:22.
Go ahead.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 22.
Listen up.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
So if you don't see that sister submitting to you, she's not the one for you.
That's right.
If she does not move when you say, go ahead, right? She's not the one for you.
You talk about marriage more than yours.
Huh?
You talk about marriage more than yours.
She talk about marriage more than yours.
Yeah.
But some of them just want to do it for Instagram. Some of them want to marry just for Instagram, just to put it up. Let me see how many likes I get. And then when the husband is in the house, they want to slap up the husband and boss him around. And don't give the man the correct standard or the structure. You know what I mean? Give him his position, basically. Read. Right? Because the man is who? The head of the family, correct, brother? El hombre la familia, la cabeza, no? All right? Read.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife.
The what?
The head of the wife.
The what?
Head of the wife.
So the husband is the head. She got to know this, man. She got to know this. Yeah. What's her name? Pearl. You got to know this.
Hello?
Man is getting information right now that you got to know. All right? We trying to let him know that he got to marry you. All right?
He telling me
You got to marry, he's got to marry you. He cannot have you together just enjoying the milk and not taking care of the cow. All right? So he has to marry you. Read. But look, you got to do this. Read.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
You got to submit to men. And you got to be willing to submit to men when he comes back to the Lord. Read.
As unto the Lord.
And to who?
As unto the Lord.
So you basically got to look at him as God on earth.
Yes,
basically.
yes, right.
That's the position that he got to play. And you got to play your role as a woman. Don't give him stress, extra lip, all right? When he comes from work, right? He's been working there for a long time. You don't want to stress out. Make sure his food is ready.
That's right.
Make sure you're ready to lay it out for him. You know what I'm saying? Clean out. Read.
For the husband.
For who?
For the husband.
For man.
Is the head of the wife. Even as Christ is the head of the church.
So man will become the head of you. All right? Because that's the structure that we are missing in the black community now. All right? He's supposed to be your head. Not you 50-50. 50-50 ain't nothing. 50-50 equals 0. All right? Because it brings drama to the family. But man, you got to marry that sister, Pearl. You got to marry Pearl. Because if you've been, how long you been with her? A year? All right? You've been with her a year. That means there's something special about her. All right? I hope you're not with her just for the sex. I got to do it. I got to talk about it. All right? So I hope you know that you're not with her just for the sex. So you got to step up and do things as men. Let me get 1 Corinthians, okay?
Yes, sir.
I get
Exodus 22:16.
All right, yes, sir. Let me get Exodus 22:16 first. All right? This is another thing you must do. All right?
The book of Exodus, chapter 22 and verse 16. And if a man entice a maid.
So you entice Pearl, you spit game. Where you met her? Where you met her?
If I tell you where I met her, then y'all gonna tell me to marry her. I knew her since 7th grade.
So you know her since 7th grade.
Yeah.
You gotta marry her, man.
Facts.
What do you mean? You gotta marry her. You know what I mean? Let me ask you this. I know Pearl might get upset. Was she ratchet and loose back then? She was a good girl, quote unquote. So what are you waiting for? I'm gonna bring problems to you, man. I gotta bring that heat to your house. Read.
And if a man entice a maid.
You entice Pearl. From 7th grade, you've seen her, right? You've been talking to her, And if I get an opportunity to talk to Pearl, I'm gonna talk to her speak game and bring her to me, right? And do what I gotta do with her. You entice her, correct?
Yeah.
Read.
That is not betrothed.
And she wasn't betrothed at 7, otherwise I'm gonna call the cops and accuse whoever she was betrothed to. Right? She wasn't betrothed, meaning engaged to nobody at the 7th grade, right? Read.
And lie with her.
And you what?
And lie with her.
And you lie with Pearl. I know you get uncomfortable with that. You lie with Pearl. In 1 year you living together. I know you're not just watching TV together. I know you're not watching Netflix and chilling from one side of the bed on the other to the other side. All right? Read.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
You gotta what?
Endow her to be his wife.
You gotta make her your wife. Man, you gotta make her your wife. Right? Correct, mama? Come here, let me talk to you 1 second. Hey, come here, mama. Come here. No, come here. No. This young man needs to learn. Wait, hold on, man. Because I want to ask the young lady here. The young man is hesitant to marry a sister that he's with. You think that's right or wrong?
How old is he?
He's 23.
23?
Yeah. Huh?
23?
He's 23 years old. You see, mommy, you're wrong too. Because he's at 20 years old, he's able to marry. And he's right now having sex or living with a person, right? A woman. He's supposed to marry her according to the Bible. Today's society, our people say, yo, nah, you gotta wait. Wait until you're 35 and you could barely make a baby. All right? Now you wide open, you loose down there, right? You worn out, right? And then you want to come to the marriage with a lot of baggage from all these different relationships you've been in, right? But we're the only people in the world that don't celebrate young people's marriage. 20, 22, 23, that's a perfect time to seal up and live righteously, live clean. Because guess what? AIDS has no name or color.
Right.
Right? Gonorrhea, right, has no name or color. But what? What's wrong with him marrying?
You want to find the right one?
No, because you can't. Listen, can I go to the supermarket and lick all the apples and then say, yo, well, this is the one I want to buy? Can I do that?
No.
Can I bite every apple to see which one is the sweetest and then I leave everything else? No, the first one I bite, guess what? You got to pay for it and take care of it and eat it. You get what I'm saying? It's the same way. You can't be going around the world as a society, us as a society, not having marriages enough. Black women is the last married individual in the world.
Right.
And it shouldn't be like that. What we out here trying to teach our men is that when they do lay down with a woman and they do take up on that responsibility, they got to marry that sister. They got to make them a righteous sister by marrying them, right? And keeping God's commandments.
Right.
And coming back to their natural being, which is what? A righteous man of Israel. That's why we out here trying to bring our community together, mama.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.